Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, with another installment of Success Through Consistency. And if you don't know who I am and what I do, I help you to achieve your most important goals through the power and the principle of consistency. In this particular installment, I want to talk about something that a lot of us go through when we set an important goal. And if the goal is important, it's usually not going to be easy because the degree of the importance of the goal usually is correlated to how difficult it is to achieve. Because if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. So I have two questions to ask you. When is it that you give up on your dream, and why do you give up on your dream? Now, this is based on several principles that must be understood. and the principle is consistency is the plan, persistence is the action, and faith is the reason why you're doing this in the first place. And I want to talk about these concepts a bit. Now, to do it, I'm going to read from my book. Sometimes I just talk off the cuff, but this was so good when I put it. It's my book, Why Consistency is the Key to All Success and How to Be Consistent to Achieve Any Goal. Now, I'm going to read from here, and it has the perfect ideas that I want to express for this particular video. And if you happen to be watching this video on YouTube, you can click below and get a PDF of this book. And I always suggest that you go to my your Facebook page and go to Success Through Consistency and join the Facebook group. Now, to read from this particular chapter 8, talking about how quickly do you give up and why do you give up when it's your dream and it's something that you know that is of value and that you must do. Well, let me read from here. Immediate results cannot coexist with consistency. Immediate results cannot coexist with consistency. Now, the greatest drawback to consistency is impatience. Consistency can only be experienced over time. And time is the co-worker of consistency. Given enough time, you cannot only see consistency, but consistency becomes stronger with each repetition of the thing that you're doing. Stages have to be passed and thresholds have to be reached. A body in rest tends to remain at rest until acted upon by an outside force. So says Newton's first law of motion. This is to say that any new habit that you're trying to form must overcome the initial resistance that you must exert because you're going to be moving in the opposite direction of your comfort zone. Well, basically, you're going to be running dead into your comfort zone, and you're going to have to overcome the resistance as you continue to move forward. In a sense, if you're moving left, metaphorically speaking, the movement to the right is at rest. The movement to the right is inert relative to the movement of the left. There is resistance to move right, and the outside force which changes direction is a combination of decision, determination, and persistence. Once inertia is broken, momentum takes over, and consistency becomes easier and easier, providing you persist. Persistence is thus repeated and regulated daily by choice. Doing the same thing over and over, which is designed to move you closer and closer to your goal. Now, I want to talk again about what I started with the three statements. Consistency is the plan, Persistence is the action of carrying out the plan, and faith is the reason why. The thing is this: if you don't understand why, you won't have the faith to persist. The underlying force of all things that you do that are of importance lies in your understanding the value of what it is that you must do. To achieve the goals that you must achieve will require patience, will require persistence, and will require time. The element that separates the people who achieve their goals from those who quit is what I call the willingness to do whatever it takes. And in many cases, the willingness to do whatever it takes will mean that you will have to exert the patience, overcome the resistance, and not be willing to give up. Sometimes you may not even see results for a long time before you can reap the fruit of your efforts. This is going to require faith. You plant a seed under the earth and water it. You have to have the faith that the action that you initiated will result in the plant or whatever it is that you planted into the ground to sprout. You let the forces of nature, of every action that is a reaction, take its own course. Many times we have to detach from specific results in order for things to happen. When you do the first act of your consistency, change has already occurred. Just because you can't perceive the change doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. So the idea is that faith is the underlying energy behind all of this happening. And biblically speaking, many times you may have to walk by faith and not by immediate sight. You will eventually see that which it is that you have planted, that which you are working toward, but it requires that type of inner vision to allow you to move forward just one more time, just one more time, just one more time. So, when is it time for you to give up? And why would you give up? It is the time that what your goal that you originally set no longer has value. And if it had value in the beginning, it's very likely that suddenly, because you come across a few obstacles, that it still won't have the same value that it originally had when you started. So you need to remind yourself why you're doing what it is what you're doing. Keep this in the forefront. Understanding the why of what you're doing will keep your faith strong into the purpose of where you're going. Your faith will energize your persistence, and your persistence will push and continue to push your consistency into motion. So that's my take for today. So remember those three principles. Consistency is the key, persistence is the action, and faith is the reason why you do this all in the first place. Give me a comment. I'd like to get your feedback, for you to let me know what you think. If you have a question, please leave a question. If you have a good enough question, I will do a video just to answer your question. And as always, there it is. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you again the next time. So remember, as with all things that are important to you, stay consistent, persist, and keep your faith. And don't give up. See you next time.